Well, the Senate will take up test votes today on two very different plans for saving the payroll tax cut. Both are expected to fail, and with the end of the year deadline approaching, time is running out. So is a compromise near? Joining me now is Senator John Barrasso, Republican from Wyoming. Senator, thanks a lot for joining us. It feels like that something has to be done. It feels like both sides want something done. That this is one of these central issues that both sides agree something should be done. So will the payroll tax cut be extended?
Yes, it will, Charles. Thanks so much for having me. I agree. Both sides want to have this done. The question is, how do you pay for it? I believe we should pay for it by actually cutting spending on other programs, and the Democrats believe that we should pay for it by raising taxes on other people. And that's fundamentally the difference. Plus, the White House has not even taken off the table the idea of adding it to the debt or adding it to the deficit. But Americans know our problem isn't that we're taxed too little, it's that we spend too much. And under the Obama economy, we have many people out of work. Unemployment rate is over 9%. We need to get people back to work.
Sir, what about the notion that they'll just borrow money from the Social Security fund or something like that to pay for this? Could that be the ultimate compromise?
Well, I'm not for that at all. I want to pay for this by cutting spending, and I think the best place to start in cutting spending is in Washington. And you can do it by freezing the salaries of Congress and of all federal workers, by limiting new hires and actually cutting the overall workforce and size of government. And that would save enough money to allow the American people to keep more of their hard-earned money in their own pockets, because I think they're a lot better at deciding what to spend and what to save and what to invest than Washington is, Charles.
Well, I don't think I would disagree with you. And by the way, cutting or freezing salaries or cutting salaries in Congress with its 9% approval rating might be a smart public relations move as well. But are you drawing a line in the sand here then? Are you saying spending cuts must be attached to this, or you're a no vote?
Well, I want to actually cut spending overall in government. Right now, we're spending at an all-time high nationally. About 25% of our gross national product is what we're spending on government. Traditionally, it's at about 20%. We are way overspending. Today, we're going to borrow $4 billion, a lot of it from China. We did that yesterday. We're going to do it tomorrow. How do you stay a strong and independent nation and a leader of the world if you continue to have that kind of debt, especially to foreign countries, people whose best intentions are not our own best intentions? So I think our problem is that we spend too much, we borrow too much. We know what doesn't work, and more spending and more borrowing and threatening people with higher taxes and more regulations out of Washington doesn't help grow our economy. This president inherited a tough situation, and through his policies, he has made it worse.
Let's shift gears a little bit, sir. You were an orthopedic surgeon for 24 years, so I know everything associated with medicine is near and dear to your heart. With the Obama health care law coming in, initially it was promoted as cutting, it would cut what we pay for insurance by a pretty large amount, like $2,500. But in your home state, there's a new report out that says it's going to do the exact opposite, right?
Absolutely. You know, the president, when he presented his proposal, promised the American people several things. He promised that costs would actually go down, and what we've seen nationally and at home in Wyoming, costs are going to go up, actually up higher and faster than if the health care law hadn't been passed at all. The other thing he promised is if you have what you like in terms of your coverage and your care and your insurance, you can keep it. And now we know, certainly in my home state and around the country, that's not true either. So the president made a number of promises. They have all been broken, which is why support for this health care law is very low. There are many more people across the country that are opposed to it as opposed to those who support it. The numbers are overwhelming, and the worst part is this mandate that Washington can come into your home and say you have to buy this product, a mandate that you have to buy government-approved insurance. People don't like that at all.
Yeah, one thing that we have found out that the more people have learned about this, the more they dislike it. Senator John Barrasso, we really appreciate your time this afternoon. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me, Charles.
Okay.